split up at that point?
I think there's lots of small reasons, but I think that the main feeling is that we just grew apart because we were so exhausted. We just done a lot of work in a short space of time. And I think that when you kind of like work so hard, and it was our doing, we worked that hard, we wanted to work that hard, we kept going and going and going, nobody made us do it. And I think that you just get a bit brain fog and you start making bad decisions, and you get Yoko Ono in the band, and all these weird things start happening, and suddenly there's a mate there who's got some say, and you're like, who the fuck are you? Can you get your mate out to band? And so I think it's just like we just worked very, very hard, and we just got very tired. And Skunk Anansie had always been this ball of amazing chemistry, like this circle of energy. And that just dissipated because we were all in different worlds and different places doing our own thing. So we weren't like our friends, we weren't like friends now. And so and the thing is, there's lots of different reasons why that happened, but there wasn't any major thing, which is why we came back so recently, why we're such good friends, because there was no beef. We didn't have any beef with each other, No one slept with anybody else's girlfriend. No one slagged anyone off in the press. There was no horrible stories about us in the press that we hated each other, like that. We just grew apart. And I think we just wanted to just do something else for a while.
How was it doing solo stuff? Were you quite excited about doing it?
Yeah, I love doing the solo stuff. It was, I think in the end I'm not narcissistic enough for it, but I love doing different things and different types of music, and doing the solo stuff was amazing because it really honed in my songwriting skills. And it really taught me a lot about all the other parts of the band. I'd just been a lead singer and a bit of guitar, but I really got to understand the bass, the guitars, drums, what everybody else was doing, I had to go and buy gear and amps and stuff, and I really learned a lot about and have a lot more respect for what everybody else in the band was doing. When I was in Skunk Anansie, because then I had to do it all myself. Because being a solo person, it's like this tree at the top of the tree. And it's hard because everyone just does what you say and nobody really argues against you because everyone wants to keep their position. So it's you have to be right a lot. Whereas in the band you just got a lot, we argue with each other, we banter, and we're toing and froing about the ideas and the chemistry and the art, what direction, what's good about this song, and everyone's throwing ideas in a pot. But when you're a solo person, you've got to come up with it all. I think you need a huge dose of healthy narcissism to be able to do that. And I think that's good, and that's why some people are so amazing as solo stars. And I'm kind of like, I do love to do it, but I prefer being in a band.
Did you have a different approach when you came back together and wrote Wanderlust and stuff?
Yes, completely different approach, yeah. I think as individuals, we'd all learned volumes about our craft. Everybody in the band stayed in music, so like Ace had gone away and produced 40 albums of a brand new band, and had a radio show here in Brighton. He came back into the band with this huge amount of knowledge and information and excitement, and Cass had been working with other people and put bands together and was teaching all these kids how to do music production and had a studio and a rehearsal room. So all of a sudden Skunk Anansie had a studio and rehearsal room, and Mark had been with Feeder and among other things, and he'd probably was the one in the band that did the most kind of emotional internal work, and so just brought that kind of energy into the band. So I think that when we came back together, we were very much kind of we are much more solid individuals and very excited about music and very learned, kind of more like elder statesmen of ourselves, and so it was great because when we came back in the band, everybody was just doing parts of the band. Cass was doing the studio and the music. Mark was doing all the videoing and the internet stuff. Ace was doing helping with the merchandising and management stuff, and I was kind of creative, doing the fashion, the photography and the artwork. And we did it all in ourselves, and it was so much easier to run and organise because we could just talk to each other. There was no record company of 20 people that you had to refer to and get permission from and have to listen to.
Your energy is still there as well. You can see it. You can see